Today on the Pro Organizer Bootcamp podcast, I'm chatting with Becky McKenna, a pro organizer based in the Orlando, Florida metro area. She offers judgment-free organizing and loves to tackle bigger organizing projects. She's also a member of the Pro Organizer Bootcamp Mastermind and is getting ready to make her first few hires as a professional organizing company. So welcome to the show, Becky.
Hi.
Yay. I'm so excited to have you on tonight. I feel like our glasses match, so that always makes me happy. You look gorgeous for those of you watching on
Thank
YouTube.
you.
I know as organizers, like we're always like covered in dirt and dust and cobwebs and dog hair and like our uniform shirts. So it's always fun to see people like dressed up.
Yeah. I said that I was excited to put on my face today and not just my eyebrows. So we're here for it. I'm totally here. I'm prepared.
I love it. So tell us about yourself and how you ended up in this crazy world of being a home organizer.
Yeah. So my name is Becky. Hi, everybody. I am the owner of Happy to Help Organizing. And I landed this job during COVID, actually. So I had a sales job in Orlando, Florida that ended up falling through, and I ended up getting let go. And I had a little bit of time to figure out what I wanted to do for the rest of my life for my next job. So I have always dreamed about being an organizer. Back in the day, I want to say it was like second or third grade, we had to write what our favorite hobby was, and mine was organizing. I still have the piece of paper that I'm very proud of. So organizing came so easy to me, and I didn't have a job. So I thought I would throw up a website, get my license. And from there, I did a little bit of advertising. I signed up for Thumbtack, which is a website for small business owners. And after that, it kind of just took off. So, yeah.
That is so cool. So like, obviously that was probably just such a shock to lose your job, to be one of many that lost their role during the huge shift during the pandemic. But it sounds like it was a blessing. Here we are about 2 years later, and you have grown and scaled, and you're fully booked out now, which is, you know, great to hear. For the next like month, you're like, Melissa, I'm going a little crazy over here. So congrats on all of your success.
Yeah. So what day is it today? September 21st. I'm officially booking into November right now. So my typical weeks are 5 days a week. I try to do 5 days. Sometimes it's 6 days. And it's fully booked. It's an amazing feeling. I'm literally truly blessed to have this many clients and now referrals, and referrals are becoming referrals. So it's been incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I love the, speaking of referrals, you have mentioned on a few of our mastermind calls, some of the like fun things that you do to be able to send little kickbacks to other people within your referral network, whether that's housekeepers or even just clients referring other clients. Hey, you have to meet Becky. Oh my gosh, she came and changed my life in my pantry. And then giving them like a little $25 gift card or something just to show a token of appreciation. I love that idea. I think it's so helpful.
Yes, word of mouth is honestly the best advertisement that anybody can possibly have. And I think it's really important. I'm always asking my regular clients, what else do you think I can do? Or where else would you want an advertisement? Because I hear so often people don't know what an organizer is, or people don't know, when they're talking in the break room, or they're talking over dinner with their friends, and they say, oh, hey, I hired an organizer. People don't know that this is a job. So word of mouth is fantastic. And I always want to reward my clients and say, thank you.
Yes, 1,000%. I think it's really easy for people to go and read Google reviews or reviews on Thumbtack or Yelp or Angie's List or wherever. But if it's somebody that is saying, hey, I believe in this. This was the transformation. Maybe they have all their girlfriends over for their next happy hour or their church get together or their, Bible study or their women's group meeting or whatever it is. And they go, look at my pantry or look at my, garage that Becky did. That is the best testimonial. And that's for, anything in life. Like if you are in a new town and you need a new dentist or a new doctor or a new vet or a new dog groomer, right? Where are you going to go first? You're going to ask your friends.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Ask your friends and then ask Google.
Yes, exactly. Verify it, like back it up with Google. Yeah, fact check. So how did you come up with your business name, with Happy to Help, with all of your branding and all of that good stuff?
Okay. So, my branding, I actually had one of my friends from high school do my logo because this was at the very beginning of my business where I just wanted to have something that was simplistic, and it's a little house with a hanger on it. And then it has a plant going by it because, for my clients that know me, they know that I'm a freak about plants and I wanted to have something green or like earthy on it. And then I also am terrified of color. So black and white and grays and neutrals are everything that I live by. Um, so I knew I wanted something just simplistic because when clients come to you, they're already stressed. They already feel chaotic. They already feel overwhelmed. So I didn't want to have something very busy going on anything on my website, on social media, even on my t-shirt. I didn't want it to be crazy when I walk in the door and it's this huge floral print of of me. So yeah, so that was my branding. And then Happy to Help started. My sister and I were just kind of throwing things back and forth. And the number one thing about my business is at the end of the day, and I've said this to you multiple times, like I just want to help people, right? So her and I were going back and forth of how can we incorporate help? Is it, here to help? And going back and forth. And all of a sudden we said happy to help, and it stuck with us. So I think with my friendly nature, I'm very bubbly. I talk a lot, sometimes too much. With that, I'm always happy to help. I'm always happy to be in someone's space. It's one of my favorite things to do. So happy to help.
Yeah. And we say that in daily conversation as Americans, right? We say, oh,
Yeah.
happy to help. Like if, I don't know, you open the door for somebody or you write an email to somebody and that's how you sign off or whatever, right? Like it is
Yeah.
something that's familiar, I think, too, which helps you build
Mhm.
that like trust factor with your clients and with your prospects out in your general community. And I love what you said about, calming and peaceful vibes, because you are there to kind of like put their mind at ease and really bring them peace in their home. Your website reflects that, your Instagram reflects that, your name automatically just kind of like puts me at ease. It's like, oh, she's here to help and she's happy about it. Okay. Like I feel comfortable automatically. So I love that. Great choice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's talk on that same, trend of, okay, unfortunately got let go during COVID. You landed into this, journey of being an organizer, something that you've thought about since you were a little girl, obviously with that second grade piece of paper that said that your favorite hobby is to organize, which by the way, what does a second grader even know what organizing is? So like now, it must have been destiny, right?
The picture that I wrote, it was like a box or something like with little goodies in it. Like, who am I? That's so ridiculous.
So cool that you still have that though. So let's talk about your past life. So what did you do pre-COVID and how has that prepared you to handle running a business as a professional organizer?
Yeah. So, okay. So running a business is obviously, you don't sleep a lot. So you also have to have the foundation set up in a business to make sure that you can turn off sometimes, because we all need that. So I actually graduated from college. I got my degree in interior design. And when I was done with school, I thought I would take this job at a fancy restaurant to pay off my student loans and then get into design. And little did I know I would fall into events and wedding planning. So for, gosh, 14, 15 years I was in the restaurant business. And through that, I started doing events. Then I became a manager. Then I was taking over multiple restaurants. Then I started wedding planning. So, all that being said, it set up this huge foundation of sales, of forecasting, of making sure that you're following up with clients, making sure that you have a strict timeline. For people that have gotten married, that your wedding is literally planned down to the minute. So I think with having that structure and that background, it really has me hyper focused on one job at a time, but also seeing the big picture, if that makes sense. Seeing all of the little working parts that need to go together with a project. A pantry project is entirely different than a master closet, not only with the involvement, but the product, but the timeline, the budget, all of the things. So it's orchestrating. So I feel like having that kind of, I don't want to call it like structure, but I think having that training in me to work the long hours and pull through and be there for my clients has kind of shined through now on being an organizer and my own business owner.
Yeah, and that's huge. I mean, those are lifelong skills that you will have forever, right? And for those of you guys in the Pro Organizer Bootcamp community, you hear me say all the time, you don't need to be certified to be an organizer. You don't need CPO after your last name. You don't need a few letters after your last name to make a business and to start something new, because we all have past experiences, whether you're like me that came from the Fortune 100 HR and recruiting and staffing world, or whether you're like Becky that came from restaurant management, pivoting into wedding planning, now an organizer, right? All of these life experiences in our book of life, if you will, right? All of these different chapters and these seasons and these phases that we go through really get us where we are, and all of it matters, and all of these baby steps to success and all of these little needle movers, where when you were working a 12-hour wedding day and practicing that resiliency, practicing that client relation skills, customer service skills, being detail oriented, like you didn't know you were training to be a business owner, right?
No, not at all. Absolutely not. Nope.
And with restaurant management too, I wanted to point that out, where part of my HR consulting career was actually for small businesses pre-COVID, in the San Diego area, small restaurants. And, all of those sales reports, the cash handling, the managing a team, all the schedules, obviously human capital management, I would argue, is the hardest thing to manage. So managing people are going to people are batshit, you know what? And, employee relations issues, like I'm sure that helped give you a lot of good training to be a leader.
Yeah. Yeah. I managed, I don't even know how many people at one time, but it was a lot. And you learn so many different personalities. But I think that's what makes the job interesting with wedding and now, is that you get to go into so many different houses and so many different atmospheres and families and career driven folks and bachelors and widows. And it gives me goosebumps like talking about it, because it's just so fun to be in different people's houses all the time.
Yes. And along with what you said about wedding planning, it being orchestrating and it all has to work together. Obviously, that totally relates to organizing. The wedding industry in particular, I used to run a wedding photography business with my ex and business partner, and the wedding industry in general, like it's so important, it's so special, because you're only there for that one day and everything has to work perfectly. Obviously everything doesn't always work perfectly. There's always going to be something that kind of messes up or whatever it
Right.
is, but it's the same with organizing. It's like, this means a lot to them. This is their home, this is their where they lay their head down at night. Like it does matter. This isn't just you're working at the Container Store behind the counter, and if their bins don't work out, they don't work out. Like you're providing a life-changing service.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. And I think that's one of the biggest things is why we care so much in the industry, is because we are making a significant change for someone. It's not like, yeah, the the containers and putting it in place and that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's fun, but we are literally setting differences in these people's lives. Like we are setting the foundation for them to be successful in grocery shopping. We're setting them to be successful in putting on their freaking clothes every morning. It's not like um they get this 1 6-hour session and then they rip it all apart. They take it, they maintain it. They send me text messages of, my gosh, it's been 3 months and I can still find my pants. Like, cool. It's so funny. And it's more than a job. It's more than a career. It's more than just getting that paycheck at the end of the week. It really is.
And who doesn't want that, right? Who doesn't want to be fulfilled in the work that they're doing every single day?
Yeah.
The cool thing about what you said there too is our clients as organizers, they think about us daily and we don't even know it. Like we're not there to see them opening the junk drawer and being like, oh, thank God for Becky, right? Or
Yeah.
we don't see them opening up their spice rack and going, oh my gosh, this looks so pretty, and getting that little like endorphin rush of, ooh, this looks so nice, right? And daily, that's what they're doing. And I'll have clients that'll reach out to me years later. I haven't changed my phone number in 1,000 years, and I still have the same phone number from way back when. I'll get random texts and it'll be like, Melissa, you changed my life in 2017. And I'm like, who the F is this? But also, how cool is that?
Yeah. I always say to my clients when I leave, I always say that the hardest part of this job is leaving, because I would sit and stare at this spot for the rest of the night. So it was really funny. I had one of my clients, we had a 2-day project, and the second day I came back and I said, how does the space feel? How are you doing? She was like, it's good. I peeked in it a couple times, and her daughter called her out and she was like, Mom, you literally sat in there for like 2 hours. What are you talking about? You peeked in it. And I was so proud of her. I was like, seriously, I would have done the same exact thing. I'm not even mad.
It's so soothing, right?
Yeah,
Like
it really is.
it soothes our little OCD hearts where we're just like, things are back in order.
Yep. Yep. And I also say, which now my regular clients call me out on it. And in the beginning, I was like, I can't not finish this. Otherwise I will not be able to sleep tonight. So I have clients that will send me pictures and go, I don't know if I want to send you it this late because I know you're not going to be able to sleep once you see this disaster.
Oh my gosh. And that's the dedication, like you said, it is our business. It is our baby. Sometimes we don't get a
Yeah.
lot of sleep. We do have to take the time to rest and relax and recharge and get out of the business and take a day off once a week. For me, that was always Sundays. Make sure that you have a day of rest, right? But I want to pivot into your favorite areas of the home to work on, because I can tell that you're so passionate about organizing. You obviously have this great dedication to your clients. What are your favorite projects?
All right. Oh gosh, I love all of them. Okay. So my favorite would be master closets. I love being able to make an event out of a closet. Because I have my degree in design, I love staging the closet. I think that when you are waking up in the morning, you should feel excited to get dressed. You should feel excited to see your Louis Vuitton box and know, like, yes, I worked really hard for those things. I worked hard for my Gucci belt, or I worked hard for my Amazon belt. Whatever your flavor is, that's cool. So I try to just make it so it looks like it's designed in a way that gets the client excited to literally put on their pants for the day. um I also like the decluttering process of that, because I love hearing stories about when someone wore a dress, or when, I took my maternity pictures in this dress, or this is the dress that I wore when I graduated. But on the flip side of an organizer, I love hearing them spiral out of that and go, but I haven't worn it in 10 years, so I can get rid of it. So
The
that's always
declutter.
amazing. Yeah.
Yes, that
Because when
moment where they're like, okay, put it in the big black contractor bag. It's leaving me now.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then I turn into Miss Oprah where I'm like, and that goes in the trash bag, and that goes in the trash bag. So I think it's a very intimate process, the closet is, and I love it. I love decluttering with them. I love hearing the story. Um, and then a tied second would be, or a tied first, tied second. I don't know. Second would be the pantry because I'm a huge foodie and I love seeing what people eat, if that's a weird thing. So I love seeing new things that I haven't seen before. And every single family cooks differently. So every single kitchen pantry, no matter if it's laid out the exact same way, every kitchen pantry is different. And it's this Tetris of how the heck am I going to fit all of this food into this tiny, tiny spot? And it's such a good challenge. I love it.
Yes. I think pantries and closets are like the total opposite because pantries, it's usually like a by yourself type of job, right? Maybe
Yeah.
they're working from home and they're in the other room on their Zoom calls, or maybe they're leaving for a little bit and going to pick up the kids from school or whatever it is, right? You're kind of like able to do that in a smaller space on your own. It's not like, do you want to keep this bag of macaroni that has bugs in it? You know, like it's pretty
Yeah.
obvious like what you need to get rid of. But I love that. I love what you said about, you know, different cultures, different foods. Every family values time in the kitchen and at the dinner table differently, right? Some families don't eat together, some families have dinner together every single night at the same time, like, and you get to know those stories, which is really meaningful.
Yeah.
Love that. One thing too on the master closet that you said, you know, staging those handbags, the shoes, the jewelry, creating that shopping experience like they're in a boutique. You know, that in and of itself, every single morning when they walk in there, they're like, thank God for Becky, you know, and so those are the times when those turn into truly repeat clients, right? Those are the times that they're like, oh, this is starting to look like shit. I need to call her back, you know, and that's the best seller too. Like all of your projects and your portfolio are also selling you at any given moment of the day.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I always offer that too. I offer refreshers for people. So when it does get to that point, every couple of months, every 6 months, once a year, whatever it is, I will come back and make it the way that it was before. So a lot of my busy moms do that with me. I also have busy entrepreneurs that can't find time to get home, nurses, you name it. Yeah.
Love it. So what is some advice that you have for newbie pro organizers that might be just getting started? You started this journey yourself about 2 years ago and you've grown and scaled super quickly. It's so cool to watch. So what are some words of wisdom that you might have?
Number one is find your cheerleaders. Find the people that are going to back you up and cheer you on, and make sure that you have a community that's going to support you when you feel like giving up. Um, I have two organizer gals that are really close to me in Orlando, and I don't think I would have gotten as far as I would have without our cheerleading with one another. The second thing is it takes a lot of work, but it's incredibly rewarding. So if you if you are on those days where you're like, oh, I can't do it, what, imposter syndrome, we talk about that all the time. We are our own worst enemies. And it's easy to doubt yourself. But if you have that community of strong business owners or just a strong group of women or whoever, your parents, your family, um, just find that support because that's the number one thing that matters.
Yep. Find those cheerleaders, get support when you feel like giving up, because there will be those days.
Mhm.
Entrepreneurship is hard. It is not for the faint of heart. It might seem, looking at people's Instagrams or TikToks or YouTube channels or whatever, like this is all just a walk in the park and, it's all so easy. It's not. So I love that. I love, building those foundations, like you said, of support on those tough days. And I firmly believe that if you're willing to roll up your sleeves and put in the work, you've got to put those blinders on and stay focused in your own lane, because like you said, imposter syndrome is a bitch and it is not going to get you far if you keep staying in other people's worlds. You've got to do what you do best and what you only do best with your secret sauce.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I mean, countless times I would call my mom on my drive home and just cry and go, I'm so tired. And she'll go, what can I do to help you? And I'm like, nothing. I'm just really tired. But I still had, invoices to send and people to get back to, and, things that I needed to return. And there are really long days. There are. It's not a lie. And you are your own person to finish all of that. But then you get easy weeks, like every single day is different. And when you're working on your computer, you can be in your pajamas. When you're taking your business calls, you can be in your pajamas. And yeah, you're your own boss. What do we say? You're the best and worst employee that you can have because it's just you. So you got to show up for yourself.
Yes. Yeah. You have to set those goals. You have to be held accountable, even on those days that you're tired, right? It's like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I still have to follow up with this client lead and I still have to have that consultation call tonight. And I still have, but like you said, you can like have your wine in hand or have your ice cream in hand, pet your fur baby, spend some time with your family, put your PJs on. So it's not like working a corporate job where you're expected to be so buttoned up all the time, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I am so excited, Becky, to watch you grow into the year 2023 and beyond. Thank you so much for being on the show today. And where can our audience find you?
So I am on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and then my website. So Instagram is HTH_organizing, and website is happytohelporganizing.com. So
Yay. And I'll put those in the show notes below. Thank you again so much for being on. This has been an
thank
absolute
you.
joy.
Yay. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.